Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Season 2 recruitment race for the Truck Series for Palmetto Racing League. We are about to get the race underway here. Should be another similar race to how the Cup race was earlier today, if you tuned in for that. Packed with a lot of action, a lot of battling going on for that first position. There was a couple of advancements on the 83 that were made by other drivers and just couldn't quite pull it off. Number 83 held on to that first position today for the win. So we are getting gridded up here for the start of this race. The 83 truck is participating in this race this evening. The other league members, I don't believe they could make it this evening due to various different reasons. So we did have a couple of human drivers that joined the race. They did fairly well. I think they backed out before the race finished. So, but shout out to them for joining. Anybody can join these recruitment races. They're super fun. It's a great way to get a feel for the league and how they're running things. Because that's the benefit to the recruitment races. They're kind of a way to show everybody how the series is going to be ran. So with qualifying this time, it was run a little differently. See the 83 car or 83 truck there. Excuse me. He qualified in second position for the Cup race earlier today, and in this race here, I want to say. Looks like he qualified ninth position this go round. So a little bit of a difference. The trucks tend to be a little different. They don't have as much horsepower as the Gen 6 cars do in the Cup Series. So drafting is still a key factor, obviously. But we are moments away from going green. Another 30-lap race. Pace truck is off. Boy, he whipped that thing off kind of hard, didn't he? Like he about broke his neck coming down in the pits there. Talk about doing things a little bit of extra added in. We are green. As they line up here coming into the turn. Going to see probably more single file action. Already starting off. Oh, Lord. Done had somebody hit the wall already. 83 gave him a bit of a love bump there. I don't understand what just happened back there. In the corner of the screen, that one truck just shot off to the left. Yeah, they're back there spinning out. I'm not 100% sure what happened there. 83 is trying to. Oh. Looks like both trucks seem to. Well, maybe speaking too soon here. Nope. Everybody looks like they might have recovered from that. Another bump from the 83 there. He must be still coming down from that win in the Cup Series earlier today. Getting a little overexcited there. A little bit too much bump and grind going on. Can't have too much of that. Rounding it out in the turn here. Again, much like we saw earlier today in the Cup race, probably going to be a lot of grouping going on, trying to advance in position. See these four here are sticking together pretty tight. They got to use that draft to catch up to the rest of the pack. They don't have a huge gap to make up, but best way of doing it is sticking in a group like that. Kind of draft off of each other. Excuse me. Draft off of each other and force feed that air through. Looks like this Ford's going to be their first victim. They're gaining on him quick. And they're all passing. Trying to catch back up to the first part of the pack there. Towards the front. A nice recovery from the little wreck that put distance here between everybody. They seem to be making that distance up fairly decently. Let's jump to the front up here. We've got Gosselin leading the pack right now up in the front. And you kind of seen back there in the distance the 83 and that group of 4 back there rounding the last turn. So they're steady moving up the line here. Already got a truck getting ready to get lapped here, looks like. Seeing that they were gaining on him. Yep, there he is. I believe that was the 08 truck. And he is now lapped down. Gosselin still holding down that first position here. We're 4 laps into this thing. Should be another interesting race. The Cup Series race earlier today was definitely one to watch. If you did not tune in with us and you missed that race, that is one that you definitely want to go back and watch. There was a lot to that race, and it was a nail biter at points. Single file for the most part. Everybody's grouped together there, drafting off of one another. See the 08 truck back there in the distance. For the most part, though, too wide there in the turn. That little, you've seen the trucks there on that turn. They got a little squirrely coming out of it. There's a sort of a rise in that turn. The further outside, toward the outside wall that you go in those turns, the more you really feel that rise, and it's kind of, oh, yikes. 36 just spun out there. I believe that was the 36. Yeah, I think it was. Looks like a couple of them were involved in that one. Slowing down, I'm assuming we're getting ready to have our first caution. That was another thing too. I want to mention the Cup race earlier today was the first one in season 1 that went without any incidents. There were no caution flags at all during that race. It was overall a really competitive and clean race that they were able to pull it off. And the 83 has not had a very good season at all, with wrecks and incidents and even penalties. There's our caution. And he was able to pull out the victory today here at iRacing Super Speedway. So that was really cool to see. I think it may be a turning point for him in this. So we have 2 races left of season 1. Next weekend, Saturday coming up, a week from today, they'll be at Dover. So the Cup race will take place at Dover along with next weekend's Truck Series race. Both of those races will be next Saturday. So Dover it is. And then the last stop is Myrtle Beach, and that's where we'll end season 1 at Myrtle Beach Speedway. So down to the last 2 races. Aaron Vogt in the 22, he's definitely got the championship in the bag. We see here there are quite a few going to go ahead and pull off into the pits. We also found that earlier today the Cup race, and it's probably the reason that so many trucks are going to go ahead and pull off under this caution and make a pit stop. The Cup race, with this track being a 3-mile configuration, it is very taxing on the fuel, and drafting is a huge factor in this race. So that means these cars and trucks are staying running max RPMs, sometimes even over max RPMs in the turns and on the straightaways. So fuel consumption is really high on this track, and we kind of learned it in practice today. A couple of them had said that they had made it to 35 laps or so around the track and had about 5 laps of fuel remaining. So roughly about 40 laps with 100% fuel is what you're going to get out of that tank during one of these races. So 30 laps is kind of cutting it close, but we came very close to having cars drift across the finish line today for the cup race, because most of them, time they crossed the finish line for the last lap, they were down to 1 lap left of fuel. So I mean, it was, if we'd have had a caution, probably would have had several run out of fuel today. So while those trucks hit the pits, the 83 has moved up to 3rd place. He looks like he decided against going into the pits this time. Might just be basing that off of his win from earlier today in the cup race. He was able to do the entire track without caution, might I add, on the same tank of fuel. Don't know how that's going to play off in this one. It may not make any difference, because even under caution the laps still count. So we're going to have to see how it all pays off as we get ready to go back green here. Lap 9 of 30. They'll be rounding this turn and then one more, and we should be back to being green. You have to wonder, with him sealing the deal earlier today in the cup race and taking home 1st place, can he do it in the truck race here? It is a little bit different, but the track is still the same. The movement, all of that is still the same. Just only difference is a little less horsepower than the Gen 6, but drafting is still the key takeaway from this race. While they finish this out, we're going to go ahead and head on over to give our sponsors a shout out, and we will be back, should be right around the time we go green flag. So we'll be back with you momentarily. Today's sponsor spotlight is for Working Man Outdoors. Real experiences, real results, real affordable. They're not here to sell you a fantasy, they're here to give you the real deal. Working Man Outdoors brings working class outdoor adventures to your level and your budget. Experience duck hunts with all the thrills, none of the fluff. Located in Southwest Louisiana, give them a call today and book your hunt. 843-919-0405. Working Man Outdoors, where hard work meets wild reward. And we are back just as we go green again on lap 9 of 30. Let's see if the number 83 truck can pull off another win today. 2nd win of the day, if so. Running too wide there for the most part. Looks like he's going to try to... Oh, man, he just did squeeze in there. Did he jump out front? Yes, he did. Squeezed into that little gap there in between those two trucks, and boy, he made the best of it. They're gaining on him a little bit now. Kind of all neck and neck there. Got number 14 of Reeves out front, or did have him got a little bump there. I knew this was going to have some close action in it, much like the cup race earlier today. Looks like he dropped into the inside to catch in behind that draft. Gosling number 13, I believe, has made his way back into first position. That's a little truck right there. Coming into the turn, he goes to the outside. Oh, they are neck and neck. He's just passed him a little bit. Back in first place. Nope. Gosling's back out, it looks like. Right there with each other. It's going to be a close one. 11 laps of 30. Almost halfway. That truck got close to the wall up there. A couple of them are 3 wide, 2 wide. More so 3 wide toward the back there. Looks like these two are going to go at it back and forth. Pretty much staying right there with one another. A little bit of a gap. 83 is staying on the outside, which is something we don't normally see him do. He's more of an inside line racer. It's kind of strange seeing him stay on the outside. I think he's just finally found his comfort zone, honestly. Only time will tell. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of sad to see that the season 1 is almost over and the Gen 6 cars are going to be getting put to rest for a little while. The all truck series and MX5 races. That's not that not taking anything away from the truck series. It's still fun to watch. Very competitive, but there's just something about seeing those Gen 6 cars out there that may just be personal thing, personal preference really. And they're still right there with one another. Neither one of them is really willing to give an inch. Got the 69 truck there trying to catch as much draft as he can. See if he can make anything happen with it. Looks like the 83 just dipped out, back out in front again. And he did. Got a nice little gap in between them. We're almost at the halfway point here. He is out there out front. They closed the gap. That didn't last long, did it? Couple of 3 wides there. Everybody's keeping it together pretty smoothly. And it looks like he's trying to block them, but just couldn't block all of them. Oh, a couple of them getting a little squirrely back there. Number 66 is on his heels, beating up all of that draft, but somehow he just keeps pulling away from them. Everybody's slowing down. I think we have another caution. Not sure what happened. I didn't see anything on our screen. Lap 15 of 30. Yeah, and there's the caution. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I didn't see anyone lose control. Maybe there was debris in the track or something of that nature. Second caution of the race. There's our pace truck. Everybody lines up in single file. Single file to start with. They'll double file towards getting ready to go green. Let's see if we can get some different views here. Mix up the action a little bit. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened with this caution. I didn't see anything. That doesn't mean that track officials didn't see something that could have posed as a safety issue, or maybe something in the track. We are at the halfway point now, as the Silverado pace truck is out there leading them around the track. Everybody toward the back looks like they're trying to get their formation straightened out with who belongs in what position. When the caution came out, I don't believe anyone has pulled off to head toward the pits, so should maybe possibly be ready to go green on the next time they come up on the checkered flag or the finish line. Still running single file. What a day of action it has been. I believe when I get done with this, I'm going to go back and rewatch that cup race from earlier today. That was, I'm telling you, that was something else. If you didn't get to see that, you missed out. It was an awesome race. It makes me kind of wonder how Dover's going to turn out this coming weekend. Going from a super speedway and then back to a track like Dover. It kind of messes with you a bit. It's crazy that season 1 is about wrapped up. Do want to take a minute here while we're waiting to go back green. Don't believe they're going to be going back green on this lap. Should be the next time around. They should be going green because they haven't even gone double file yet. So I'm gonna throw up our social media pages for anyone who hasn't subscribed to the YouTube channel or found us on TikTok, and also our Facebook page. These are where you can find that information. Be sure to go and like and subscribe to those things so that you can stay up to date with all of the current events and things that are going on. There's a lot of moving parts going on right now with season 2 being worked out and things getting put together for that. So there's a lot of information being put out, and that's the best way for you to keep up to date, besides hearing it here in these broadcasts, on all the information that's being put out there. So if you haven't already, make sure you get in with those social media channels so that you can keep up with everything. It's just easier that way. There's also the Discord. I probably need to have that put into the feed so that that's available also. That way y'all have that too. It's another good source of information. There's stuff that's passed along in the Discord, even if you're not a member of the league, just so that everyone can keep up with it and know what's going on currently in the league. So try to have that fixed up for you next weekend for next weekend's races. Alright, we are rounding out that turn there. Pace truck should be coming off this go round. Yep, there he is, and we are going back green. 14 to go in this one. 83 is trying to establish that lead quickly, putting a nice gap there. The draft already starting. You see him closing that gap. Gosselin in the 13 is back hot on his heels at second position. Couple of them back there running 3. Looks like some of them 4 wide. This track has so much room, it's easy to run 2, 3 wide. It's not as big of a deal like it is at some of these smaller tracks, Darlington, Daytona, Talladega. Even with those two being super speedways, they still 2 and 3 wide can get a little sketchy in some of those turns. Ooh. Somebody got a little loose back there. Like the green Toyota not enough to trigger a caution, it doesn't look like. So I think that for the most part, everyone maintained control. Looks like the number 14 and 83 are going at it now. Or were. I look for that to come back up. Not much room to work with there. Seen from the overhead view, the gaps in between these trucks. The draft it keeps those gaps tight. And as you've noticed, any of the gaps that have been established early on, they tend to make them up quick. Drafting is a major key in the super speedways. Looks like he's trying to block there, trying to keep him from passing. Couldn't stop the 17 though. He went right on by him. You can't. It's hard to block everybody. Oof! Just bumped the 12. He's out there driving super aggressive, and sometimes that's what it takes. Also, gotta watch out though. Rack up incident points and wind up with a penalty quick. Number 17 truck, Jose Castillo. Ten laps to go in this one. Massive wreck. Did not see that coming. I'm gonna put y'all on the social media page again, and I'm going to try to run that back and find the source of that one. I feel like for the most part we caught majority of the wreck itself, but not. I want to go back and look and see where that was, like who caused that. Bear with me just a moment as I rewind the footage here. Everything looked fine up until that point. I don't know if someone got loose. I'm looking at the foot. Oh, I see. It looks like maybe some pushing and shoving was a result of that caution. Let's see. There it is right there. I have found it. Give me just a moment and I'll get it back up on the screen here. We can see what happened. Definitely involved the 83 there. Alright, we are back now. See here. Right there. Yeah, 83 ate that one hard. Yikes. Yeah, that took out a good 4 or 5 of them there. Oh, that is not a good sign. Seeing the truck smoking like that, that engine is getting ready to go. Get back up to the leader. I don't think they have called the caution yet. There it is. So the number 13 of Gosselin is back in. He is back in the lead after that incident there involving the 83. That was a nasty spill. Just 9 laps to go. I don't foresee this race ending on a caution. So wonder that motor was still working. He smacked that wall hard. Definitely not what you want to have happen when you're running in first place there. You look at the ticker right now. That dropped him way down to the bottom of the pack. I don't believe I think it's open now. Pits were not open to start with. Hopefully he was able to limp that truck in there. I don't believe in this race yet he is pitted, so he should have his one fast repair available. They should be able to get him back out on the track. However, he is going to give up that field advantage that he had of being in first place because he had to go in the pits. So and I'm looking, I believe he's also been given a black flag for too many incident points, which means he'll have to exit the pits and do a drive-through without stopping in order to get back in this one. So that's going to be tough. Start all the way from the back, work his way back up. Matter of fact, the ticker's showing him now as being down a lap, so he'd have to make that lap up too to start this thing back out fresh from the very back of the pack, work his way back up. And only 8 laps to go. By the time he runs through the pits for that penalty, he's probably gonna have less than right at 6 laps or less to catch back up to the front there. Not saying it can't be done, but that's going to be difficult for sure. Just 8 left to go in this one. I will say that I hope in future races, especially for the next season, for season 2, you see him there, he's pulled off to go through the pits there. Go ahead and serve that black flag. Would be nice to see some more season 2 races here at iRacing Super Speedway. This has definitely been a fun track to watch. Very, very competitive for the most part. All the cars and trucks being neck and neck with one another the majority of the race. That's been really, really awesome to watch. Set up in the double file now, so the next time coming around, pace car should be coming off and we should be going back green. Let's check in with the 83 and see how he's making out. He's now out of the pits and working his way back around. And about what I said, going to be about 6 laps to go by the time we go back green. That's about what he's going to have to get back up there in the front. Gosselin in the 13, still holding down that first position. This time around the turn, pace truck should be coming off and we should be back green. Get ready for the last 6 laps of this race. And we round that turn. Pace truck should be off. Just watch how he whips that truck, man. Look, last minute. Almost like something out of Grand Theft Auto or something, you know, just whips it off real hard. And we are back green. Couple 2 wides, 3 wides toward the back there. still running for the most part. Oh, look at 83 there is trying to, he is hugging that inside close. I don't know if y'all seen him there last minute. There he is. He's already made up some distance there. Does not look like the officials have cleared his black flag though. I'm not sure I understand why he drove through without stopping. That should have served his penalty, but they're still showing him as having a black flag. And for those that aren't familiar, if they have black flagged you and you continue, oh, look, man, he is just shooting around him. He's going for first. And looks like he's got it. Hard to tell from that look there, but they still, I believe he's still counted as being a lap down. Yeah, the lap down is now changed, but he's got the circle all the way back around to the pack again and fight for that first position again. So he's out front, but he is not in first place. He was a lap down, and as I said, he still has the black flag on him. So yeah, I don't understand why that wasn't cleared up. And they're all right on him too. Too wide. Had a little bit of a Y going on there for a bit. Showing Henry in the 00 as being in first place. 4 laps to go in this one. Boy, he come off in the pits hot, didn't he? Like he almost had to lock the brakes up there. Down to 3 laps to go. Coming into the next turn. It looks like the 66 is hot on the 300 of Henry. This has been an awesome race so far. Come into the turn. A couple of them have broken up now into running too wide. A couple of that dip back there gets everybody. It's a wonder that hasn't caused more wrecks. It's hard to explain without having you actually drive the track yourself, but those dips are very odd. Matter of fact, let's kind of show you what we mean here as they come out of this turn. You see there, and it's like that on all of the turns. That dip is, it's kind of odd. You're in the turn, you're fighting that steering wheel to keep traction, and then you hit that dip, and it's just like, almost feels like it's attempting to throw the truck. It's not going to, but it feels that way. And you've seen there the 83 just disappeared off the track. That's because the race officials still had the black flag on him, and because he continued without serving that penalty, they disqualified him from this race. So the 83 is officially out of this race. And that is unfortunate. Definitely thought that there was a possibility of seeing a repeat of today's race from him, from the Cup Series race. He drove super competitive in that race today. So 1 lap to go. It's looking like Broadbent has taken over first place. And that is definitely a wrap. It appears so. First place was the number 16. He came in there and stole it right at the end, taking home that first place victory. You see him there in the number 16 truck. It was another good race today at the old Super Speedway. Well, that's going to do it for us this evening. Definitely a different tone from what we saw earlier today, but still, overall, really good race. Couple of cautions this time around. Nothing that can't be worked out. A little bit of a nasty wreck with the 83 earlier, resulting in a disqualification due to a black flag, but that's sometimes how it goes, unfortunately. So again, Saturday we have Dover. This Wednesday, MX5 series. Track has been undecided yet. That will probably be posted, I would assume, anytime from now to Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. And we will see y'all again on Wednesday. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and we appreciate you joining us.